Hi everyone, it's Justine. Here I am back for video number 2, and this is 2 of 4. So I have 4 videos in total showing you all the cards I've made from this card kit, which is Time Offline from Spellbinders, and it's the November card kit of the month. I found this card kit quite refreshing because not only does it have some of the typical things from a Spellbinders card kit, which in my opinion are the beautiful florals, the butterflies, the wonderful pattern paper, but it also does have, this time, some more neutral things. So they're not all of the glitzy glam things. They're some of the things that I could use for a card for anyone. This card that I'm working on right now could be a card for someone who likes to hike, or a graduation card for a girl or a boy. I just feel that this kit in general was a little bit more neutral and natural with the outdoor theme, and I thought it was really neat. So that's just my 2 cents about it, and I seem to really be gravitating toward the stamp set for this card kit. I loved the sentiments. I really enjoyed seeing the die cuts and putting the die cuts with the stamped images. So here I am making my first card, and I used all of the mountains on this card. It was kind of inspired by the little gray paper in the back. If you can see carefully, there are little arrows that point up on that gray paper. So I thought that that would kind of be a nod to the mountains, and to me it kind of reminds me of a topographical map. So just made my own little mountain range on my card. And again, I loved the stamped images, so I went ahead with Life is a Journey, as if someone were to be hiking around this mountain. Then instead of adding sequins to this card, I'm going to add these location points, and I think that they work as a nice embellishment on a card without adding the bling. Even though I love the bling, but sometimes the card just doesn't quite call for it. So here is a look at this finished card. Now for my next one, it's kind of a collage card. I took some wooden pieces, the deer, the map, and some coffee cups, and of course the bright backpack, and just made kind of this collaged area on the bottom. I took a scrap paper from the pattern paper and just kind of put it in the corner, just as a little embellishment, I guess, with my collaged area down here. Then I'm using some craft tape and kind of holding it together and adding some glue on the back. If you're not sure about what glue I use the Barely Art liquid glue, and I put it in a small glue bottle because it's a little bit easier to work with a small bottle, in my opinion. Anyway, this card needed some kind of a sentiment, so I went ahead and used 2 of the stamped sentiments from the kit and put them together. One says, "Here's to another year of adventures," and the bottom part says, "Take time to enjoy your birthday." Now these cards are super cute, but unfortunately I did not record making them. But I did use some stamped sentiments from that stamp set just to kind of finish them off. Since they were a little bit more girly, I can always use a thank you card, and I've always wanted to use Live, Laugh, Love on a card, and since that one came with it, I had to pull it in. Anyway, back to the card kit. I have some trees here, and I just am making a little outdoorsy scene. So I'm using 3 trees all together. Then the background paper, to me, kind of acts as a forest. And then I have my Jeep here that I'm just going to position in between 2 of the trees. Then I'm going to pop up my stamped sentiment, which is, again, that "Here's to another year of adventures. Take time to enjoy your birthday." I thought that that sentiment was perfect for many different cards, and I think that they make a great birthday sentiment for a card when I use them together. With some foam tape, I'm going to pop up that sentiment just for a little dimension. I had enough for 2 cards, so I made 2. Now with my next card, I used some pretty busy pattern paper from the kit, and I used the little camper and the fifth wheel. I'm not sure what I think it's called, a fifth wheel. The tow behind pink camper, and just made a little scene. It's kind of an abstract scene since it's just the ground, and then the background is a whole wall, if you will, of some campers and tents. Then I used the little table sticker to kind of be a abstract table, and then I'm going to finish it off with my little sentiment puffy sticker here. And then if you can see on the top, I added 3 sentiment puffy stickers, and I put them so it's like the vehicle is saying it. Moving on to my next card, I did kind of like the paper trick, if you will, here. So I punched out that little oval from my background paper here. So when I put it on the card, you will never know that that piece is missing. Then I'm going to save even more paper and put together these 2 pattern paper strips and just tape them with a little bit of craft tape. Then use my glue runner and put it on my card. Because I'm going to put a strip over that seam in the middle, it doesn't matter that the pattern paper does not line up. It basically is just to frame my striped area on the sides, like so. See, you never know. Now I'm going to add my little log here, and I'm going to put some sprigs behind it as if they were growing either around or behind that log. Then put a little flower on there, and then add it to my card. And I'll finish off the bottom with a couple mushrooms. I thought these mushrooms were so cute, and there are some mushrooms in the die cut shapes that I didn't even get to try yet because I was so busy using up all of the die cut pieces that came with the kit that I didn't use any of the die mushrooms, but I definitely will be pulling those in later. Now I had some pre-glimmered sentiments that I just had on my desk that I glimmered already, and I just thought I'd pull it in just because I love the glimmered sentiments, and I thought that it would work with this card. So I'll have that glimmer set linked in the description, but you can kind of see it says just because. Now with this card, I wanted to use the owl. I thought the owl looked pretty peaceful, so I wanted the owl kind of to be nestled in some florals here. So this is kind of a floral explosion with the paper, the die cuts, and the flowers on the log, but it all kind of comes together here. So I will just simply glue everything down, and then I'm going to put those little mushrooms by the trunk too. I will be adding another glimmered sentiment to this one, and again it's coming from that Wax Seals Glimmer Sentiments glimmer plate collection, if you will. So I will have that linked below, but I think a glimmered sentiment kind of adds a little bit of sparkle without being too blingy. So that's kind of why I chose that for this card. It doesn't quite show up on a film picture, but it looks very nice in real life. Anyway, on this card I wanted to kind of play around with some illusion, so I added that scrap paper right across the center. So it almost looks like the striped paper is tucked into the background pattern paper. Kind of fun, but anyway, I'm going to use the little squirrel with the nut, the acorn this time. And that was a chipboard frame, so it's a little bit thicker than the die cut pieces. Then again, I'm using that sentiment, here's to another year of adventures. Take time to enjoy your birthday, which I just stamped out a ton of those, and I cut them down to be just an even border around the edge, and they're perfect to have on hand. Now with this one, again, I'm using some little paper illusion, and I'm using a scrap and just putting it on the edges. I cut the middle kind of jagged, so I remembered that those go in the center. Then I'm going to put this piece of cardstock right over that, and you won't even be able to tell that those two pieces are two, and it looks like one long strip going across. Then with my kayak paper, which I just loved, I'm going to put that in the center, and that's kind of the focal point of the card. But speaking of focal point, I'm using the little camera on the bottom here with a puffy sentiment again and a strip of black paper. I cut that black paper at kind of an angle just for some fun and interest. Anyway, I'm letting the pattern paper shine on that card and not kind of being very fussy with it. I think those kayaks are just so cute. All right, for this card, I wanted to make another scene. So I'm using the plaid paper here as the background of my scene. Then I'm going to use this die cut of the moon and stars to kind of show that that is the sky area. Then I'm going to anchor my tent right on the bottom corner. And I'm not even giving a ground really to my tent, but it's kind of the illusion of the scene. Then the star paper that had the foiled stars on it, I had to use every scrap of that paper I could because I thought it was so pretty. So I'm going to use that paper and this green paper that had kind of a topographical map going on and put that on right over the stars, and then use another stamp sentiment from the kit that says, "You make me a happy camper." So that's going right on that green paper. Oh, sorry, it says take time to enjoy your birthday, happy camper. Anyway, it's just fun to play around with those stamp sentiments, and I did it so much that I guess I used a different order here. Then I made two. So with the second card, all I did differently was just separate happy camper and take time to enjoy your birthday and just put it on a little bit wonky. Anyway, here is a finished look at all of my 10 cards. So this is, well, it's more than 10 because some of them are doubles, but I go by designs. So this is 10 designs. So again, this is number 2. So I have 2 more coming up. So if you're interested in seeing more cards with this card kit, subscribe to my channel and stick around. I will be posting those later this month. Here we go with almost all 20 designs. If you had a favorite card, I'd love to know which one it was by leaving me a comment in the comments. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have a great day. Bye.